Welcome back, Sideways fam. We're back today with another DIY video about how you put a fuel pump into a S13. It does not matter S13 or hatchback or S13 coupe. It's the same process for both cars. It's actually very simple. This is definitely something that I think everybody can do themselves. This is probably the easiest fuel pump you'll probably ever do out of the majority of any other vehicle. So first thing you're gonna do is open the hatch. So we've already went ahead and done that. I'm gonna be putting in a TI Automotive, which is a Walbro 450 fuel pump, and we have our nice new Quantum install kit that come with everything you're going to possibly need. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to pull the carpet back and you're going to have this unit down here with these 4 bolts. He's already re-glued this thing for some reason, probably has a bad tank seal, but I'll get into that later. So what I'm going to go ahead and do right now is I'm going to go ahead and run you through this real quick. It's probably only going to be about a 10-minute video. It's really fast. And then you guys are all gonna be able to be set up to do your SR20 swap or RB swap or JZ swap. And it's gonna be the same process for any of the pumps, whether you wanna use, 255, 340, 400, 450, 525, it's all the same install. All you're gonna need is a pair of crimpers, Phillips head screwdriver or 8mm socket, and 10mm socket. And you're gonna be pretty much done, guys. So let's get it. All right, guys, so this is a little bit better view. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get our screwdriver bolts right here and get those ones off. This is gonna basically let you be able to see the fuel pump connector. It's a blue connector. It's also where you will go ahead and do your 12-volt mod to your fuel pump when you're gonna be making big power. The chassis do not put out a nice 13 volts or even 12.8 volts. They put out really heavy voltage. So, I mean, for your basic swaps, you won't need to do that. But for everybody else, you're gonna wanna go ahead and do your 12-volt mod. And I can get into that later when people need to see that or wanna know how to do that. So then you're gonna go ahead and get your 10mm socket, and you're just gonna go ahead and blast off the 10 volts. Obviously, nothing too difficult about that. Nice to have power tools, because then you're not stuck doing hand tools for ever and ever. This has been resealed, so I'm just gonna go ahead and rip it up and off. And hey, that's it, guys. We're already right to the fuel pump. So you're gonna have your feed and return line. I forgot what orientation this is. Usually the other one has a clamp, so I'm assuming this is probably the feed and this is the return. But you can flip them around underneath the tank and hook them up however you want to. So for the fact of this one, I'm just gonna tell you, your feed and return lines are there. Power wires come out of the tank to this connector right here. And there's a bunch of 8mm bolts that have screwdriver heads as well, if you get them clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove these, and I'm gonna get it out so I can show you guys what's up. All right, guys, so as we can see, remove the fuel lines, go ahead and tuck them underneath here, remove the bolts, and then all you're actually gonna do is go ahead and grab the whole assembly and pull straight up. Now, there is a float unit on this, so you will have to kind of snake the filter out. You see it kind of getting caught in here. So you're gonna have to kind of snake the filter out and then snake the float out. So it goes in kind of like this. You gotta get it in the tank. You gotta slide the little float in, slide the little filter in, and then you're good to go. This actually was installed improperly. The float is supposed to be facing the filter, but it looks like they're running an S14 filter on this for some reason, but this is supposed to be facing this way too, so that when you go to pull it out, it pulls out the right way. And it does look like he has a Walbro 255 in here, but for the fact that we're going E85, it's not gonna work for his application. And then in here, very clean, nothing too abnormal. You have this O-ring seal that a lot of people think they need to reseal the tank because this is leaking, but maybe what's going on is the hardware that he has is new and has a bunch of washers. So my thing is, I'm pretty sure he ended up stripping the bolts in the tank, and he's getting some smell in the car, and maybe that's why they went ahead and sealed it. But I don't roll like that. That's some funky shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this real quick, and I'll show you guys what's up. So pretty self-explanatory, guys. You're gonna just go ahead and unhook the hose here, cut the 2 wires. Red is power, black is ground. You can also tell that it's power because it goes into the top of the hanger, and the other one actually grounds on the assembly. So, but what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and assemble the 525 or the 450 It's the same pump, just different part numbers. And obviously it can hold a little bit more power. So mind me while I do this real quick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my install kit from Quantum. You can buy the pumps with everything as well. And you know, the pump assembly will come with your crimp connectors. It'll have your hose clamps and everything that you need to get the job done. So, you know, clamps, crimp connectors, you'll have your connector for your fuel pump that it'll come with, your submersible hose, and your filter. So if you've seen any of my other videos on installing fuel pumps in any other car, which, I mean, now that I think about it, you guys probably won't, because you're looking to install it in your vehicle and not every other vehicle. This goes on really easy. So here's your nice TII Automotive real Walbro fuel pump. And down here at the base of the filter, you're gonna have this little kind of like a squish end. So what happens is down here, there's a little stick or like spike or whatever you wanna say. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna push it in right there. I give them a little tap on the floor and it pushes it on all the way. Then all that happens now is the pump has to slide in. Sorry, I don't know why my phone keeps moving while I'm recording it, but. Then the problem is just gonna be that right here on the pump, we're a little too tight against this for where it has to be. So you're gonna kind of have a pain in the ass, because basically what's gonna have to happen is they're gonna have to butt up against each other like this, like right up against each other, and that's how it has to sit in the tank. Because if you go much lower than that, the whole assembly will actually just bottom out on the floor of the tank, and then you're gonna be having this thing hit and just not work how it's supposed to be. So that's how it's supposed to sit. I mean, as you can see on this side, you see how everything faces the way it's supposed to face. So then all you're gonna do, if you wanna put the connector on, which I always do because I don't wanna have to rewire this more than once, you'll clip this in, red to power, black to ground, and you'll put your submersible hose on here, you'll throw a zip tie around it, and you'll put it back in the tank, and you will no longer have this one. You can actually see, it's actually pretty funny about this, how people jerry-rig stuff. I mean, the filter doesn't have a clasp on it. I mean, over here where it actually goes on a little pin that I showed you earlier, and they just wire tied it on, and it worked. I mean, it never came off, but just the shit that you find in the cars that you work on is just hilarious. And you can actually see how much bigger the pump is on this one too, just everything overall. So yeah, I don't use these pumps very often. Those are really more just for like a stock replacement swap in like a 20 valve 3S, SR, RB, even a 1J and like a stock application. You want to use something like that for pump. But off that topic, let's go ahead and get this back in the car. All right, guys, so that's how it's all supposed to be done, guys. Crimp it all up, zip tie it all in, make sure it's facing the float. Very simple. Took me all of like 15 minutes to get this done. Looks super bomb, and now he's ready for, you know, 500-600 horsepower on this if he wants. But then again, it's an RB, so probably not gonna happen. All right, guys, so we're back in, and that's it. So this is gonna conclude the video for today. So thanks everybody for watching. You wanna know any other cars that you have questions on, that you wanna know how to do certain things or whatever, or want some explanations or easier way of doing things, then just, you know, message me in my comments and I'll try to make a video for you guys. So thanks for watching. Until next time.